Did you ever hear of music that could break down a wall?
Welcome to the Moral Compass podcast.
You ready? I'm ready!
On today's episode, I will talk a lot less, hopefully, than I've been. I don't want super long episodes. I want them 30 minutes or less. And so I'm going to be doing some Ted the Architect reads. If you listen to yesterday's episode, you'll understand, or my last episode. I'm also going to talk about the Lunar Eclipse. Find out what's going on with that. There's going to be a blood moon coming, is what that's about. If you don't know who Jonathan Roumie is, he is on this show called The Chosen. It's about the life of Jesus, and it's a great show. Jonathan Roumie plays Jesus, and I got a really neat clip from him. And then I also have just another audio clip I found on X that's pretty inspiring. So, a bunch of clips pretty much today. So that's what I'll be doing today. So I guess what I'll do is I will kick it off and read ya. First, I'm going to read you Ted the Architect. I'm going to read you a few more of his older, I think it's a he, I don't know, he or she, posts. And every time, or I'm gonna try to do this. I can't guarantee anything, but I'm going to try to read some of his posts, because, like I said, they're real cool. Ted the Architect is on TikTok. It's a very fascinating channel. Claims to be some kind of spiritual being. Putting posts on TikTok, of all places. So, anyway, on September 25th of 2024, he posts, "Some of us are here already. Just look up. It's not another moon. Your government knows about us and have been friends for 50 years plus. They are ready to show you. We have lived on your moon before you guys were created. Everything you know is not true." September 27th, 2024, so 2 days later. "There were 6 of your kind. You are not be first humans on this planet. Please open your eyes, and it's very obvious. We helped each society, but yours hides the truth, most compared to the others. Understand, truth is knowledge. Your government has our technology and hides it from you. Time is running out." Same day, September 27th. "The reason why your kind gets abducted is to understand your soul. It's hard to hear, but you were created. But we don't understand your soul because we don't have it. Once we die, we turn into a different form. Once humans die, they leave the body. They borrowed and recycle to another body. Although there is a God that we even believe in, there is a maker of all! Exclamation point. Your Vatican confirms everything I'm saying. That's why they hide it." And then on September 28th of 2024, "There is a reset happening. You must save your kind and band together. You'll see destruction like you never seen before. Many states and many will die. Don't let the media fool you. Spread the truth." And I guess the last one I'll read, it's a little bit longer. September 20th also, so same day as that last one. I don't have much more time. They are close. You must know, your government has a secret space force that we work with. Your race has visited our world, and we agreed on sharing our technology with you guys. They found out what I'm doing. This might be my last post. Please understand there are different dimensions, and that's what you guys call ghosts. Sometimes, when frequencies are right, you can see other dimensions, but please understand they're not ghosts. We travel so fast because we are able to jump in and out of dimensions. So that's we move so fast and awkward. If this is my last post, understand there are 42 alien species that have come to your planet. Some of us look just like you. Remember, you're borrowing your body, and your soul is what truly matters. Okay, so we'll stop it there. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, it's weird. It's neat, it's fascinating. And so apparently they live on the moon. And we weren't the first humans here on the planet. And then we get abducted because we have a soul and they don't. So they're the ones abducting us, apparently. And the Vatican can confirm it. And there's a reset happening, and there's going to be many will die. Well, that hasn't happened yet. At least I don't think it has. And then it goes on to talk about how he doesn't have much time, and it might be his last post, but he's got lots more posts. I mean, there's new posts today, I believe, or yesterday. Within the last couple of days, there's new posts. So, I think this is not real, but not fake either. I think it might be someone who knows maybe a little bit more than the rest of us, like maybe somebody who channels these beings, or maybe I don't know, somebody playing with some information from the government or something. And they're creating kind of a storyline and a persona to go along with it. That's what I think. At least so far from reading these, what I'm getting. And they're putting in truths with lies. So, I mean, it looks like, talking about not going to be posting much more, and then posts plenty, and then talks about this reset or something, and there's no reset. At least, I don't even know what that means, reset. I mean, I've heard that saying plenty of times from plenty of people, the Great Reset or the Reset, and I'm not sure if they're referring to like back with the flood myths, like Adam and Eve, like apparently there were people before and a high technology society, and then these floods battered the planet, and there weren't very many beings left over, and so it got reset. And that's kind of the idea behind it, I believe. So I don't know. And then they're talking about ghosts and how ghosts are actually interdimensional beings that move fast or something. It's a crazy account. But I find it real fascinating, and the more I read, the more fascinated I get. And like I agree, we have a soul. We do. We're born with a soul. And oh yeah, that one thing you said, it was real interesting how when they die or something, they change into something else, whereas when we die, our soul leaves our body. That's very interesting. I wonder, if when other beings die, if First of all, I believe there are aliens. I believe they're here and they've walked the earth and they've been around for a long time, or angels, if you want to call them that. I'm not sure. There's probably both. There's probably aliens, physical beings like us, and then there's probably angels um, that help us and that guide us, with our souls and our path, our spiritual path. But I'm curious if there are beings, let's say physical beings just like us, um, living on a planet, breathing air, eating food, driving vehicles, having families, all that stuff. And if they go, if they die, let's just say they live a lot longer than us. When they die, and they like this one says they transform into something else. So, but yet believes in the same God we do. So it's interesting. That's a deep rabbit hole subject right there that I'm not going to get into. Just food for thought, so to say. So that is Ted the Architect on TikTok. Check it out if you haven't heard of it. Okay, so there's going to be a blood moon. Today is March 11th, and it is going to be March 13th and March 14th in North America. For the most part, North America, or I mean, not more North America, in the Americas, North America, South America, Greenland, kind of down. If you put the world map on a flat map, it would go down like the middle where North America is, kind of be down. I'm sorry, down the east and west side of the Americas, like on the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Is where the blood moon will be seen best. I'm going to play this clip from Astro Alexandra. She's on YouTube, and she's a great astronomy clips, and I believe she's on TikTok also. So here we go about the blood moon that's coming soon. And you'll want this information if you want to go out and see it. And it is a rare experience, a rare astronomical experience. I recommend, if you can, to check it out. So here we go.
If you live in any of these highlighted regions, and specifically North, Central, and South America, you're about to experience something crazy. The moon is going to pass behind Earth and through Earth's shadow, and then it's going to look like it turned red. What you're going to be seeing is a full, total lunar eclipse. And these somewhat shaded regions here are going to experience a partial lunar eclipse. This is going to happen on the night between March 13th and 14th, and the moon is going to look red because the light that's hitting it has traveled through our atmosphere. So the sunlight's going to reach Earth, and our planet and our atmosphere is going to scatter all of the blue light, which is why the sky is blue, and the red light is going to keep traveling, which means it's basically a giant sunset on the moon. I can't possibly tell you the times to look up for all of these cities, but if you're on the east coast of the United States, it'll be around 3 a.m. on March 14th. But please look up the time for your city. This is going to be so cool, and it's going to be especially cool because a total lunar eclipse is only seen from any one location on average about every 2.5 years. Happy moon gazing!
So, total lunar eclipse, followed by blood moon, all red moon. That will be a sight to see. So, Google it or ask AI or whatever you do to find your information. Find out what time you can see it at. And it's not just the Americas. There are, you can see it most of the world according to her map. Like parts of Africa and Europe and Russia, Siberia, Australia. It looks like it just won't be as red as it will be in the Americas. It will be easily to see and real red here, and it'll be like a shade of red in the other areas. So really cool. Check it out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Okay, so Jonathan Roumie, he plays Jesus on The Chosen. If you've never heard of that show, I highly recommend watching it, especially if you have faith or if you're a Christian or believe, check it out. But even if you're not, it is a great show. It is well done, all crowdfunded. They try to be accurate as they can according to the Bible, but there's a lot of missing pieces, and they try to fill it in as best they could. But he was on Tucker Carlson the other day, giving an interview, and he talks about confession. And confession is a Catholic thing, but anybody can go to a Catholic priest and give their confession if they want. And believe me, you don't have to do it for religion. If you have something on your chest you want to get off of it, go to confession. And you can get it off your chest without worry of repercussion, because by law they cannot, it doesn't matter what you tell them, at least as far as I know. Might want to look at that if there's something real serious you want to confess, but I'm 100% or 99% sure, not 100, but 99, that no matter what you tell them, it's between you and the priest, and the law cannot force a priest to tell you, and nor would a priest reveal it. So anyway, he talks about confession a lot. So here's the clip. He explains it so much better than I do, and he's such a great, and he plays Jesus on The Chosen, and he just seems like such a wonderful, amazing person. So
that we get about people that they were atheists all their life, and somebody gave them the show, and all of a sudden something tweaked in their heart, and they're like, why do I feel this way about this guy? Like, I want to know this guy. Or people who haven't been to church in 30 years. Lapsed Catholics, like, I haven't been to church in 30 years. I started going back to church. Went to my first confession in 30 years. Went to my first confession in 15 years. Like, I've heard all of these things. I even went, I was in confession once myself, and a guy came out of the confessional, and he recognized me. He's like, oh yeah. And so he starts talking to me, and then he starts to tell me what he was telling the priest in the confession. I said, no, you see, anything interesting? You keep it in there. I wouldn't let him get that far.
yeah, he plays a real convincing Jesus on the show The Chosen. Real convincing. It does not surprise me people would believe that he is really Jesus. I mean, he does such a great job. But he's just a human, just a guy, just normal. He's just an actor. Okay, I'll continue. Here we go.
No, that's not for my ears. Save it for the confessor. So it's I'm not Catholic, but I've always thought that confession is the coolest thing they do. It's a gift, man. It's a lifesaver. Of course, when it became psychotherapy, and you put like an atheist with bad judgment on the couch across from you, I don't think we lost something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But the human need to connect, to unburden yourself. You know what's wrong, by the way. Most people know. You know. You don't need to be a Christian to know what's wrong. Everyone knows. Inside you know when you're doing something wrong. Yeah. And to say it out loud, to articulate it in words, is to rid yourself of it to some extent, I think. And then for the sacramental part of it, that's where the healing comes in. That's where the spiritual healing comes in. So it's like if you're a cheesecloth full of holes, right? And you go into confession and you receive the sacrament of reconciliation from the priest. Now, the priest, we believe he's been given divine authority that has maybe a not visible, but a tangible, physical, metaphysical effect on the casing of your soul. And it's like mending the little holes. Every confession is like you're closing up those holes and restoring that connection with God in a way that is essentially repairing your soul. That's what the sacramental part of confession is for us, which is hugely comforting, and also physically tangible. For me, I feel just chemically slightly different after every confession that I go through, in a way that's like, okay, I can breathe a little easier.
I believe that completely. I've never experienced it, but I believe that.
Wow. Well put. I couldn't say it any better. So go to confession. Even if you're not religious, go to confession. Might make you feel better. Wow. I need to go to confession. That's kind of moved me. Even though I watched this clip earlier, before. Just now, it really moved me. How just doing that one simple thing can really help your belief so much more. Okay, so my last thing I'm gonna play is a pretty neat clip. It's just a kind of, I agree with it. I think this is what was, anyway, I'll just play it and then I'll talk about it and close it out. So here we go. It's just a kind of a motivational kind of. Here we go. You'll get it.
They call us the old ones. We were born in the 50s and 60s. We spent our childhood in the 60s and 70s. We studied in the 70s and 80s. We dated and partied in the 70s, 80s and 90s. We got married and explored the world in the 70s, 80s and 90s. We took risks in the 80s and 90s. We stabilized our lives in the 2000s. We became wiser after 2010. And now we're probably walking through the years after 2020. It seems we've lived through several different decades, 2 different centuries, 2 different millennia. We went from operator-connected telephones to video calls with anywhere in the world, from slide projectors to YouTube, from vinyl records to online music, from handwritten letters to emails and WhatsApp, from live radio broadcasts to black and white TV, color TV, and now 3D HD TV. We went to video rental stores, and now we watch Netflix. We witnessed the first computers, punch cards, floppy disks, and now we carry gigabytes and megabytes in our smartphones. As kids, we wore shorts, then bell-bottoms, Oxford pants, bomber jackets, and finally jeans. We avoided polio, meningitis, swine flu, tuberculosis, and now COVID-19. We rode roller skates, tricycles, bicycles, mopeds, petrol or diesel cars, and now we drive hybrids and electric vehicles. Yes, we've been through a lot, but what a life it's been. You could call us specimens, people born in an analog world who grew up in the digital era. We've truly experienced a lot. We're witnesses to everything. Our generation has literally adapted to change. A big round of applause for this entire generation of exceptional people. It will be one of a kind.
Now, do you agree with all those statements? It's showing how much the world has changed. And if you're young, you still have your parents or people you probably know who are older who talk about the times before, but things were so different before. I'm close to 50, not quite, but close. And I was around at just the right time where when I was about 16 or so, maybe younger, maybe 14, was when the internet first started becoming available to the general public. Before that, I had a computer and I was able to go on bulletin board systems and things like that. But before that, probably 12 and younger, it was just a landline phone and just your friends hanging out. There was no social media. There was no um, Spotify, where you can just play music instantly, any song anywhere you want instantly. You had to buy the CD or the tape cassette, um, and then put it in your headphones or your tape player, and then have these little crappy foam covered wire earphones that went over both ears, but they were not the audio you get now. And then if you look at now, the technology, and how access we have, the access everybody has to it is just quite amazing. It's like everything has changed, from that to everything, and the person does mention COVID, and that is a very polarizing subject. So I will ask you to ignore that, because I am not going to state my opinion on it at all. But other than that, all that stuff, I mean, it's wild that we have self-driving cars now. We have just anything instantly, you can order fast food and have it at your door in 10 minutes. You don't even have to leave your house. You don't have to leave your house to do any. You can order somebody to come walk your dog, or even watch your cat, or play with your cat. I mean, it's amazing. It is. It's amazing. And it is a great, I feel like this is probably one of the best times, and that's one of the reasons why there's so much strife in the world, is because before we were able to focus on the bad things to kind of save, now everything's solved. Not everything. I know not everything is, okay? I know. But, as far as technology and our lives in America, really, we have nothing to worry about. Until we focus on other people's lives, or political beliefs, or wars in other countries, or things like that, where, because we have nothing to focus on here to put this energy that has always kind of been able to focus on something else. And we have so much access to information now. Anyway, I just think we live in an amazing time. I'll leave it there. I don't need to add any more to that. That's kind of common sense. I'm just kind of beating a dead horse there, I think. Yeah, it's amazing times, and I think this is just the times we live in. I just feel so blessed. Just really, really so blessed. Okay, well, thank you for listening. I hope I helped inspire you, or do something, play something in some little way that helped one person even if not now, hopefully in the future. It is March 11th, 2025, and don't forget to check out that blood moon on the 14th.